Welcome back to a new era, with all of the girls now getting a slight upgrade. Of course, some having to wait longer than others, and well, I'm not exactly sure what's happening with Maria. Either way, back onto the front lines with anti-alchemy gear. Things are looking up. Of course, with the leader of the antagonist, Carol, seeming to burst into bright green flames, it does put a hindrance in the bit of a plan of trying to get her to stop through diplomacy and talking. Is that the end of this? And are we just going to fight off against the automatons under lingering regret and memories of the past, inhabited by some androgynous creation? I guess we'll have to find out. So, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some pretty good music, fight scenes, choreography, and transformation sequences. But we're going to have to get there, so grab a drink. Let's begin. If we're going to see a bit more of Maria and her kind of redemption, I wouldn't be against it. She's been trying to help and be a bit headstrong, especially when Hibiki lost a sense of herself. And that quest to find her power starts with a beach episode. Can't say I'm complaining. But going from what we saw in the previous one, where you got actual characters in danger, the noise and the gears on the brink, only just creating the counter just in time. And now, let's take a break from that. That was a little too heavy for a while. Still, I do like the idea of the alchemy being a mixture of scientific ingenuity and using memories themselves as a power source, burning through them to fuel their attacks. How long are they actually going to be if they're not already burnt to a crisp and out of the picture, but actually be a competent adversary? Because even if they forget what they're fighting for and the like, surely there's a time where you forget even basic instincts. Nice. So now they can join in on the dangers of, was it the beast mode berserk stuff? Oh. So it lives. The legacy of the past now continues on. So lots of different reactions there to the training. And the best... Chris is making the best of the situation. But anyway, what... The best place for this is on sand? Photosphere. What are they Is it right? Okay. So encompassing the globe itself was that. But how does this tie in with what we're seeing so far? She's having so much trouble. Hmm. Well, she doesn't do things by halves, does she? All the way through, Tsubasa has gone all in. Quite a leap. Hand-eye coordination. No, theoretical knowledge is a little different than putting it into use. Or they'll just have to get the points back. But Maria being, cheering her on, being a little endearing. How is she sitting on that sunbed? Yeah, I thought I saw that. Just casually passing off, remember the typhoon? Oh yeah. We can enjoy this weather because of it. Right, okay. Another part of their extreme training. Well, it's more pointed. It's a sword itself. It doesn't need a second blade. So no one chose paper? Because that changes her entire identity. Yeah. I mean, it's not all junk food. There was a melon. So I'm guessing it's going to be the whole close your eyes and smash. This does not look like the act of a typhoon. Team bonding is also a form of training, I guess. So is she going to blow through all 3 layers of that extra safety? What, so she's here now to take those memories, is she? Is the sequence going to change at all now that they're a little less clad in clothes before? Still don't like the heels on those boots, or the boots themselves, to be fair. But out of anyone, the first one to leap into action being her. More illusions. And no sequence at all there, just Hibiki straight into it. Are they fully automatous now, or receiving orders from elsewhere? That was a neat little leap. No matter how many times I see it, her multi-rocket barrage is always fun to see. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's in your job description. It's not really something that's in most people's remits. There's danger, get everyone out. Make sure no children get close to the action. And not one to back away, even in the face of an ice spear. Simple dodge. It would be cool to see the new crystal, Serena's relic, now on her. What kind of form it will take. Infinite daggers. Would it suit her fighting style a bit more than the large Gungnir spear thing? I will say her song here is a little funky. And it has that kind of grand orchestral sound that it had before, but now, yeah, she seems so afraid of losing. Okay, don't just look dumbfounded. At least have some sort of defense trying to get up. She's stronger. Does she have the willpower or someone next to her to pull her through from this? Consider that's what we saw before with the three of them. This dark power awakening from within. I mean, if she does manage to suppress it herself, it shows a very strong sense of will. Doesn't seem to be working, though. We've seen Berserk before. We know there's a way back. Also, how aggravating. Not really even dodging, just dancing out of the way. Are they going to... wiping her hand down? Getting dirty with that kind of actual physical contact. At least it was an easy way out of the Berserk form. The only one who never broke any pendants. And what, even though she had the chance there, she still didn't try to destroy it. What is it that they're now having a little competition amongst themselves to do? Yeah, I mean, if they had grand plans of just wiping them out and winning, they should have done it. But if they're trying to cultivate a stronger force... Although now, she'll have to learn to do better what really affects her heart and how to overcome it, and maybe even thank that doll later on down the line for giving her the second chance. In fact, she was, still attempting, still trying to serve, putting in the extra effort. I mean, nothing really comes entirely naturally to someone, like master level. But she is wavering in her own... Look who's back. Wavering in her own fort. I mean, two separate incidents, like hit and run tactics from this water being in one episode. And also, yeah, now seeing the silver arm and form like we did before, now we're allowed to see the transformation sequence. I'm guessing they just couldn't keep it away from us any longer. I mean, if it was always a one-on-one battle without having to worry about someone else potentially being attacked... Oh, a whip sword. Ah. Waiting in the wings. But the problem now being... Oh, good thing he has some sharp eyes. The problem being is they've all ran in one direction, leaving the ones without suits or anything alone. But what exactly could she be after in this place? Quickly freeze-dried, but even that won't stop her. And now taking what her words to heart. Maria has been a strength for a lot of them all the way through. The fact that she is doubting herself to that extent. Ah. But embrace that weakness. Cool. Be yourself, be confident in who you are, and still lose. Yeah, just be that beacon for everyone else. How she brought them together before. This time, since she's got a renewed vigor and sense of duty, is she going to actually power through? I mean, we're getting that inner voice, inner monologue right now. I mean, she's not being immediately consumed. Well, there we go. Just a lot more spikes, that's what I'm seeing. It's a tail on the back of the outfit. I mean, there's been several characters in anime that we've seen so far that use weakness as their trump card. Knowing where you falter and lose is one way to overcome it. Breaking through the defenses. No bubbles this time. We did see the other one. Oh, is that what she meant? I was thinking we did see the other one break into the base and whatnot. But at least small victory. They've got apparently rid of one of them. Kind of creepy how all the mechanisms broke in that instance and the face kind of distorted. Yeah, we knew there was a second plan in place. Huh. At the sacrifice of one, they've got information. Can they just be rebirthed? It's like the various Avatar projects in XCOM or something. You gotta destroy that banner, the base block to be able to stop them from respawning. How do you have such a large group and still only one person losing? Or at least in the case before, 3 people, but still. This is just an excuse, isn't it? But at least they can try and have some fun. Vending machines. That does not appeal to me, though. Interesting flavors. Play with his daughter. Okay. That is going to open up a whole can of worms. Wasn't he supposed to be dead? Understandable. It's like she saw a ghost. One that works in retail. Okay, I have her entire backstory being predicated on the fact that she was vilified for everything that happened, for letting stuff and people die. We were under the impression that father was one of them. So for him to just turn up now, not only that, but from what we saw earlier with Tsubasa and get the kids to safety. Hell no. Yeah, I think we're getting a bit of his character there. It was, I'm not saving anyone else. Run away. So where does it stem from? Where does Hibiki get it? Obviously not from that paternal side. I have a lot of questions. But if not for this beach episode, we wouldn't have seen a few things. One, Islave taking the opportunity to continue growing, to learn things that she wasn't capable of or strong with before. Giving a little backup to Maria, giving her the reason to keep fighting. You're the one who kind of spoke nicely to me, gave me the perk me up. So repaying the favour there, getting her to be herself, force that feeling through, and overcome the beast within. And successfully doing that, where it's not just one more illusion. There was a lot more cracking involved there. One of the autoscorers going down, but for how long? Nobody knows. Unless you've all seen this before, in which case you know. But yeah, as I said, I liked her music here. It had a lot more... I don't know a good way of describing it, just oomph. If that descriptor can be turned into actual meaningful words. But for her carrying on the mantle of Serena and making it her own, overcoming her own perceived weaknesses, yeah, it was a big moment for her. Now she can continue trying to lead others and push them onwards. As long as the chip that was stolen won't derail the entire plan of everyone involved. And with so many elements at play, most of them being up in the air, I don't know exactly where they fall, like with the status of Carol, now with that autoscorer. The entire plan here, because if it was to undo the wrongs that befell the father and the like, how does this actually get there? Honestly, I've just been enjoying it for one or two reasons. Having the extra characters have a bit more emphasis and their music is pretty good. Of course, much like any sort of new present that we get to unwrap, seeing the new transformation sequences each time is a little fun, even when some of them are not so tastefully done. Then again, the animators are having a field day, so who am I to stop them? But I kind of like the idea that the biggest threat now isn't the auto-scorers, isn't the alchemy, isn't the own personal internal conflict. No, now it's going to focus a little bit more on Hibiki and her father, who was missing for quite some time. Why is he here? What happened? Why did everyone think everything? Yeah. Little interpersonal drama to spice things up. What could go wrong? But also, I did ask before in other episodes that I want to know more about the backstory. I want to know where it comes from, where it came from, why everyone was so gung-ho on vilifying a child. Didn't expect it to come around like this. I don't expect there'll be much singing when we're surrounding that storyline. Is it going to be a touching moment or an act of someone who disappeared for so long actually getting the just desserts of their actions? Of course, unless there is some massive mitigating circumstance that just would never pass down to Hibiki. I guess we'll see what kind of father he is in the coming episodes, but we got a taste of it, as I said before, with that's on my job description. Great first couple of words for who we now know who it is. So I want to see more. I want to catch up with what's going on. I want to... Well, we're not getting any more beach episode, so I guess at least see where they'll be playing at next time. Hope you do as well. If I've entertained you, leave a like and a comment down below. Consider subscribing so you don't miss out. Join onto my Discord as well for further notifications that I eventually get around to doing. But for now, get yourselves a bit of rest, so I can see you there.